Hey guys, we are back. So I'm running late because I just got finished listening to a live that Shamar was on with LaShawn. I was recording that live. I will be sharing that with you guys today. I'm back to my regular schedule programming. And there's a lot going on because I'm kind of mad at Shamar. I'm kind of mad at the simple fact that he didn't listen. He's coming up with ideas with LaShawn on Instagram, talking about doing a GoFundMe. And there was several times on that IG live that Shamar tried to call his rent office to see if he can do month to month. So I really think that Shamar's saying that he wants to leave because of all that has happened. And I'm not trying to say that, he's lying, but I also think that he really deep in his heart wants to leave. But if he had the option to stay, he would do month to month or sign another year lease until maybe another year went past and he was able to do it the right way, the second time around and find himself or put himself on a waiting list for the type of housing that he needs, because pretty much he's brainstorming now. He has like 2 weeks before he has to be out of that apartment. He has no money for moving. Him and LaShawn were talking about him needing 5,000 at least. This is why they're gonna do a GoFundMe, and it's insane. It's diabolical. So I'm gonna start off with hi, cutie pie. Good morning. Hey, Latoya, fried chicken. Love Erica P. How you doing? Bonita, how are you doing? It says hello, everyone. I got a late notice, but I came in swing. Thank you, Bonita. Thank you so much, sweetie, for coming in and supporting the channel. Hey, Toy, how you doing, sweetie? So yeah, I was on here 3 o'clock this morning because I crashed before 7. I was supposed to do a 7 o'clock yesterday live, and I went to sleep before 7. I don't even know what time it was I actually went to sleep, but I crashed and I went to sleep early. And it's a lot of stuff happened last night, and I'm also gonna put out a recording of me getting in contact after I got off a live. I was on live for about an hour, so I'll say around maybe 4:30ish, 5 o'clock this morning. I reached out to Shamar, and instead of Shamar just reaching back out to me, he decided to play the recording message of what I was asking him about in regards to him not listening. And he went onto the internet, and I don't think that was a good idea because I think that only triggered him more so because nobody was seeing eye to eye on him talking about, that letter or whatever that was on his door. Everyone was saying you are evicted, and he didn't like it. But in particular, he was addressing his concerns to Down by the Valley and myself, and for what I don't know. You got people that are in real life, they don't want to see you elevate, and they want to see you back begging and homeless. And here you got somebody like myself, because I can only speak for myself. I'm trying to help you and don't know you from a can of paint. And you're trying to get up here and update people for the last 2 to 3 weeks about making it seem like I'm hating on you. And it just, to me, is diabolical. It says 5K for celebrities to move. Wow. Well, that's what I guess they're gonna do, a GoFundMe or something, and try to raise up that money. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way and hit the like button. That is crazy. Hey, cutie pie. I just don't know. Ryan, good morning. But yeah, he was on live with but he's not saying anything now. All you hear is LaShawn and some other female. They're both talking, and at this point, Shamar's not saying anything because he probably got a lot of stuff going on. I can only imagine him having a lot of stuff going on for the simple fact that he didn't listen. And it's so sad that he's trying to go back and forth with me about this foolishness when he should have listened to me. Because for number one, he has to be put on a waiting list for the type of housing that he needs. Market rent housing is not where it's at. And I want to apologize. I was trying to look for the word when it came to breaking the law. If, in fact, he wasn't getting evicted, why would they put a personal letter between him and the rent office or the landlord? Was that breaking any laws? And I said the word hippo. There was somebody in the comment section that corrected me and said that's hippos for health, law, protection. And they were very mature about explaining that to me. And I always like when respectfully someone corrects me and I learned something. Then I had an idiot who got blocked. So you know who you are. You were somebody who waits for somebody like me to drop the ball so you can have a reason to have something to say. Well, you can kick rocks. But the other person that corrected me, thank you so much, because I couldn't think of the word or what you call it when somebody's privacy has been violated, while on, a property of a corporation. And, there's things that you do and there's things that you don't do. And I just don't see anything ethical about them putting a notice on his door of when he has to leave the resident if in fact he's not getting evicted. But for Shamar to be on live saying that he's calling the rent office and all of that while he was on live with LaShawn, what's getting me is, why do you need to call the rent office to do month to month? You just said that you didn't want to do month to month. That's how you know that Shamar's confused. He also doesn't know what's going on, and he's talking out of his head about whatever he thinks that's going on because he's listening to the people in his circle telling him misinformation because they want to see him crash. You know what I'm saying? I honestly could have yesterday, if I was really that thirsty, I could honestly broke my neck to bring up how that's kind of funny how even LaShawn, his buddy, pulled out that stack of money that looked quite similar to the amount that Shamar used to have. It's kind of funny, a large sum of money that LaShawn was holding in his hands yesterday in that video I saw. It's kind of funny how it kind of looked like the size of Shamar's bag that just came up missing around the time he was around LaShawn and Avery. Those three were together. Nobody else was around for them to blame. Process of elimination, it was either Avery or, in my opinion, or LaShawn who did that. Okay. And I've been sticking with that from day one. But when I saw that money, that really threw me off. And it's been embedded in my head that is just crazy work. So LaShawn's trying to do a GoFundMe for Shamar right now so that he's able to get $5,000 up from his supporters. It says he's putting blame on folks regarding talking about him, but that should be the least. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying, Love Erica. I was like, he's talking about people. Number one, you're getting up on here talking about what the rent office is doing to you and what your plans are as far as moving. And then today, what other time have you known for Shamar to be playing my DMs to the world? Why today are you playing me calling you about concerns about your living situation? I mean, when have you ever played that to your audience? You worrying about the wrong ish. You're playing them recordings because you think that I'm like, who like Alvo or like how you might feel Tommy the Gossip feels about you being evicted or them reminding you have to leave the premises. You think that I'm doing you like that. And honestly speaking, I think the only one that wants to see you messed up in the game is Alvo. Because hurt people hurt people. And that's why he's in the situation he's in now, because whoever has been putting a bug in his ear, who is trying to rock him to sleep, really rock Shamar to sleep. You have to understand, he's believing it. So, a mission is accomplished pretty much. And Shamar doesn't understand it's hurting him. Just like the relationship he had with Seven. He messed that up. He probably wouldn't even be in this situation right now if he still was cool with Seven. Just don't make no kind of sense. It really doesn't, but hey, that's on him. He needs to get on. Sean is terrible friend. Yeah, big time. And it's so sad he can't see through the fake and the phony and the ones that are not his friend. I don't get it. He's definitely in the bushes listening to this live. Trust and believe that. Let me check something out real quick. Let's check something out real quick. But to me, it's funny because I don't know. Let me see something. Yeah, I was looking at something really quickly, but yeah, man, LaShawn over there sitting up there talking about a GoFundMe, and then half that GoFundMe money will be inside of LaShawn's account. That's why he's volunteering to do a GoFundMe for Shamar, because he's trying to have his hands in that too. Shamar better stop messing with these fugazis. Sitting up there trying to rock him to sleep. Good morning, SL. Shamar fired his managers. Seeing Shamar was up all night with booger in his nose, and he want to run to the internet. Yeah, about everything. Yep. He was giving information and brushed it off like he was untouched. Right, Nicole? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what to tell you, because the first week in September, they're making it clear to him that he got to go. September 6th. He got about 2 weeks left. He did the same thing like he did about that lawsuit when the judge said he owes that promoter $20,000. Everybody else is like, "Oh man, that's crazy." The judge ordered Shamar to pay $20,000 on a lawsuit. Shamar sitting around going to the bathhouse and doing all kind of crazy crap. And then he gonna 2 weeks later, it dawned on him, or I don't know if he was in some type of denial or what, that he owes $20,000 to a club promoter. And then he started running around this internet acting all crazy. So I don't know when it's gonna kick in that he dropped the ball. He had months that somebody could have helped him. And even one of my moderators even offered, because she already knew he was gonna have a hard time getting a place. Shout out to Coco. He could come stay if he was willing to move, because he might not find a place right away. He could come stay in one of her little rental units. It's crazy. It says, that's right, Nicole. In one ear and out the other. Yep. Latoya, he fired his manager because he said he wasn't checking his emails. He said she wasn't checking his emails. Oh, really? What manager? I can't keep up with this manager. He has had about 5 of them. I know it, right? And it's probably more than that. Mm-mm-mm. Seems like everybody he gets, they try to rob him. Says yes, Ryan, but want to blame. Right, want to blame us. Hey, Nicole. Shamar needs help, and all jokes aside, yeah, he does. Shamar's confused. He only repeating what he heard. He doesn't make sense. Not at all. Think about it. He's trying to explain what I said earlier this morning because I told you he was in the bushes. Okay, so then he goes live. Why would the rent office? Let's make it make sense, guys. Let's use critical thinking skills. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Let me go over here, matter of fact, because I'm not paying attention. Why, if they're not evicting him, why are they? Let's make sense of all this. Why are they putting a notice on his door when he has to vacate the premises? Why would they put that on the door for the whole entire community that lives over there to know his business? Let's make it make sense. Why? Does anybody have the answer? You only put something like that on the door when somebody's being evicted. Or if it's a hazard or something, and you want people to stay away from that apartment, including the people that live in there, because they can't be in there either, because there might be a health hazard thing going on, a breathing condition or something where you can't breathe in something that's in that apartment. They'll put up, like health hazard signs and letters so nobody will enter into the property. But that's not the case. This is about a notice, a reminder of letting him know when he has to vacate from the property. And Shamar knows that. I'm sorry, Shamar knows that. So he could sit there and say whatever he wants to say, but we all know what the truth is. Caregiver is needed now. Yep. Mm-hmm. I saw that live, and Shamar had a different look on his face when he saw it. It's crazy. And he seems to be kind of stressed out. Hold on, guys. And he seems to be kind of stressed out because when he was on live with LaShawn, he didn't have much to say. He's just in his head, like, you know what I'm saying? And he was letting LaShawn do all the talking. But the thing is why are you so depressed, and why are you on a live with LaShawn and you're calling the rent office to see if you can do a rent to rent? Why are you doing that if you so-called knew this ahead of times and you're willing to move? Why are you all of a sudden trying to backtrack and now you're talking about calling the rent office to see if you can do a month to month? You said you want to leave. So, so they put something on your door reminding you that you're supposed to be leaving. And that is on September 6th. He better take and get himself into that court. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing he better do. He better get himself into that court. Crazy work, man. Hello, Kay. How are you, sweetie? Make sure y'all are hitting that like button. Let me see what them likes are at. I will be going live some days when I get up too early because I may have went to bed too early. And I will definitely come on here if I have something to talk about. But that is just some crazy work. I really wish you would have listened. You know what I'm saying? Shamar don't have the right people around. Yep, that's true, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Take a moment and show to live. Yep. He ain't got the right people around him. Says play, I don't know, but it's on another blogger's channel, and Shamar is in his feelings. What are you guys referring to about Shamar being in his feelings? What are you talking about? Shamar been in his feelings about me for about a good 2 months because I've been on him way before we got to this. Only having 2 weeks left. I've been on him for a couple of months about this housing thing and what he need to do. I was even trying to put a Y in the chat if I kept saying he needs to go into court to get more time. So in case any waiting list that he's on for the type of housing he needs, I'm not going to start giving names out for the type of housing he needs because I don't need nobody in my comment section saying that's not the right type of housing he needs. I'm saying that's why I'm going to say, generally speaking, the type of housing that he needs, there's a waiting list. Is all I'm trying to say to you. And he needed to go into court to see if he could buy himself some more time, and then he wouldn't have to pay any rent. You know what I'm saying? And then in this case, right now as we speak, I never mentioned this part, but see, no, I did bring up about maybe he can do a month to month because he's looking for another place. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to hear none of that. Well said. LaShawn is always at the crime scene of every bad event in Shamar's life. Yep. And Shamar don't even see it for what it is. That's the saddest part about it. It really is. LaShawn is the person that needs to do a GoFundMe. Well, LaShawn will pocket that. That's what I'm saying. That's the first thing I was saying. I said, yeah, Shamar do a GoFundMe with him if he want to. Yep, he'll be taking that money too. I thought it was a live on YouTube, shaking my head. Wow, Shamar, that was a clout move. He couldn't have played that offline. Yeah, he played. I don't really, I don't care. It wasn't like I was saying anything that was gonna incriminate me. I was, doing I thought what I thought was a humanly thing, trying to help another human being out. But like they say, God looks out for baby and fools. I've threw my hands up on Shamar. I've tried to help him on numerous occasions. Shamar's got to meet somebody halfway if he really wants to truly help himself. So playing the recording won't change the outcome of his situation. LOL. Put the energy elsewhere. Exactly. That's what he needs to do. Sean talking about why everyone mad at home. It's crazy. Georgia's apartment owner legally serves no renewal notice to a tenant. It generally means that the landlord has opted not to attend the current lease agreement beyond. Wow. Yeah, so he's gonna have to look for something. Bonita, he said the GoFundMe will go directly to Shamar. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's crazy. It's crazy work. LaShawn got all that money, but Shamar has to make a GoFundMe. Yep. LaShawn got all his money. And guess what? You don't think put a listen, hit the like button. But you don't think that Shamar knows when he seen that money that LaShawn, that was his money? He just ain't gonna say nothing to LaShawn because he's scared. And he shouldn't be scared because if that's his friend, he should be able to express how he feels about that. He thinks that that's his money that LaShawn's holding. Manifest reality. I was wondering if that was the case because I know there's different rules, laws for each state. That's crazy, man. Landlords notified tenants 60-day notice to vacate. This was not the first notification. Right. Exactly, man. If that's what I was saying too. That's what I was saying too. I said, this ain't his first notification. There's no way you're going to make me believe that. This is not his first notification. I said the same thing. Man, Messy Doll is a fraud. LOL. Plus, Shamar had too much traffic in and out the apartment. That's another. Yeah. Yeah. You are so right. At least 30 days, if nothing. Yep. I think in this state of Atlanta, Georgia, it's 30 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. Manifest so far. So good, cloudy. Yeah, it's cloudy out here too. With a little sunshine trying to peep in here and there. Shamar had a delayed reaction to the lawsuit. Yep. It was a big time delayed. It's going to happen with this when the 6th comes, September 6th. It says, how is your morning manifest? That's just crazy. Wish that boy would just listen. Love Coco. Shamar is too much income. Yeah, you're right. That's almost like having 21 bad B in your house. Cause she's another hot mess. Yeah, he might have to take up that option. He might just have to take up that option, honey. I don't think he'll find a place in time, but good luck to him. Shamar too busy yelling. He's booked and busy, and everyone is jealous of him and how he's famous because Nicki Minaj played the songs. Yeah, so far, so good. Says all he want to do is sit online talking down to us instead of getting up and handling his business. He keeps saying what he's going to check on. Apartments ain't moved yet. Nope. Too busy online trying to explain himself to people that don't really care in the end. Don't really care at all. And the people that are trying to genuinely, care for him because they know he's been through a lot, he don't care for them caring for him. He's blowing it off. Then he got the peanut gallery who want to see him crash, telling him, oh, don't trust that person over there. They don't know what they're talking about. It's all crazy. I had been speaking with Fendi on the back end. She reached out to me this morning. I will leave you a message. Okay, cutie pie. Yeah, that's just insane. But hey, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's how I look at it. So I just wish the best for Shamar. I don't know why he's so hard headed. And I can't worry about it at the same time. I really can't. Hard head make a soft behind. Old saying, but true. Old saying, but true. There are other places in Georgia that are available that is a little bit. However, he doesn't know how to relocate them. Mm. You said when Shamar had really good people that willing to help him, he burnt his bridges with them. Look what happened. Yep. It's crazy. Landlord can generally choose not to renew a lease for specific reasons. Yep. Can't tell him nothing. Anybody who wants Shamar, he turns on them. Right. That's why you gotta tread lightly with somebody like Shamar. Because he's hot and he's cold. Well, I did what I had to do, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go above and beyond for somebody who doesn't want the help. So I'm not gonna help somebody that doesn't want to be helped, is how I look at it. So going forward, he's on his own. You know, he'll get it eventually, or somebody else will come along. And at that point, you know, especially when it's on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of September, oh, he'll humble himself, trust and believe, and he will end up, you know, taking the help when he starts to see how hard it is to get these apartments. Shamar gets caregiver. He's gonna run off. He ain't no help. Mm. I feel bad for him, but like my grandmother and mother told me growing up, a hard head makes, yep, a soft behind. Yeah. He is so hard headed. You can't, sometimes some people don't want to be helped, you know, because I know I tried to do it. LaShawn was showing Shamar's money. He took, yep. He darn sure was. My eyes were like, what? And it was so sad looking at Shamar. It's almost like he didn't want to face, you know, LaShawn when he saw him holding up that money. Because everybody knows that's his money. That's crazy. He didn't even take, and this is just in my opinion, I believe he took the money. LaShawn did. He didn't even take like 10,000, 5,000. He took the whole stack, the whole bank. That is something. Yeah, that's crazy. And yes, he lived there, but it wasn't in his name. Is right, Kay's business name. That's just a sad situation, man. So I'm gonna ask a question. I'm just interested in hearing. Well, knowing, not hearing. If he actually needs to raise $5,000, put a Y in the chat if you're gonna donate money, or put an N in the chat if you're not. I'm just curious to see who is going to donate and who's not. Y for yes and N for no. Okay, you guys would help? That's what's up. If Shamar wants the help, then he needs to stop helping himself, right? When he had good people around him that was more ready to help, he turned around and burnt bridges with them, talking about them. Yeah, he's doing that to me now. You give out so much free game instead of them listening. They want to paint you as a villain. Their life would be easier if they listen. Yep. Their life would be so much easier if they listen, but they don't. So I'm just over it. I'm just over it. I'm thinking Alvo is having a secret mental health. You know what? I don't know if it was. I know I heard this before. I think it was yesterday. But was it you that said it, or was somebody? Did somebody else say it? But somebody was saying, and I agree with it too. I really think that he's having a mental breakdown too. That was so. Whoever said it, maybe it could have been somebody else, but maybe it was Ryan. But I think that he's having one too. I honestly think he's having one too, honestly. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's right. For clout. But Shamar, I'm afraid for you. He said this is a prime example of why a caregiver is needed. Even Fenty said the same thing, that he needed one. Fenty said the same thing. Well, listen, guys, I'm not staying on too long. I was on 3 o'clock this morning. I don't know. Sometime when I get up too early, but that's because I went to sleep too early. It just messes my sleep up big time, and I just feel kind of tired. I might take a nap, but I got like 2 premiere videos going out today, so be looking out for them. Make sure you hit the like button if you don't mind on the way out. And I want to say, yeah, I'm not going to be doing another live tonight, but I love y'all. Stay blessed, and I'm out. Bye for now. Mwah.